Here's what's been happening in digital marketing this week. I'm JB from Belmore Digital. Let's get into it. Monday, 22nd June 2026. Yesterday was the solstice, shortest day of the year in Australia. Felt longer than usual though. Google decides for you. Maps finds the highlighter pen. The AI gets a desk in the office. 500 million people later, people use AI search. They just don't trust it. Platforms keep asking for more trust while giving users more reasons to be cautious. Quick note before we start, my Digital Trends 2026 report is free and available now. If you want the bigger picture behind the stories like these, it's worth your time. Link is in the description. Full post on belmoredigital.com, full video on the Belmore Digital YouTube channel. Drop me a follow if you want more of this in your feed, and get in touch if any of it landed close to home. Google decides for you. If you've spent enough time inside Google Ads, you'll know that settings have a habit of changing when you're not looking. The latest example is Google automatically enrolling advertisers into conversion-based customer lists. Eligible accounts will now have customer lists created from conversion data, giving Google more audience signals to work with. Many advertisers won't even realize it has happened. You might see performance improve, you might not. The problem isn't necessarily the feature itself. The problem is that account managers are increasingly expected to discover these changes after they've been made, rather than deciding whether they want them in the first place. Real story here is control. Every year, Google takes a little more of it away and replaces it with automation. Sometimes the machine gets it right. Sometimes you're left explaining unexpected performance swings to a client while Google shrugs politely from behind the curtain. If you would like someone actually keeping an eye on what Google is quietly changing inside your Google Ads account, our Google Ads Management Service can help. Feel free to get in touch. Maps finds the highlighter pen. Google keeps finding new ways to influence where people look. The latest example is a test featuring bright pink live alerts inside Maps, highlighting certain businesses, locations, and updates. The colour isn't really the story. The story is that Google continues expanding its role as the gatekeeper between local businesses and local customers. If your business relies on local customers finding you, that's worth paying attention to. Maps stopped being a navigation app years ago. It's now one of Google's most influential discovery platforms, and every new visual feature gives it more control over where users look next. I'm on the fence about this one. Better information helps users. At the same time, every new visual layer gives Google another opportunity to influence attention. In practice, both things can be true. Our local SEO services focus on helping businesses strengthen the signals Google already uses across Maps and search. Worth a conversation if local discovery drives revenue for you. Get in touch to discuss this with me, or drop me a follow to get more of my updates in your feed. The AI gets a desk in the office. Another week, another AI assistant arriving to help marketers do their jobs. It's Google's new AI agent for Ad Manager, designed to analyze data, answer questions, and provide recommendations directly inside the platform. The pitch is simple. Spend less time digging through reports and more time making decisions. If you've ever spent hours trying to find one number inside a reporting interface, that probably sounds appealing. I can certainly see the attraction. I'm less convinced, however, that handing strategic thinking to software is quite as straightforward as the product demos suggest. What this really means is that Google wants to become the analyst as well as the platform. The company already sells the ads, measures the ads, recommends the ads, and increasingly optimizes the ads. Now it wants to explain the ads too. I'm not one to moan about the big companies in digital, but at some point you do wonder whether every solution conveniently ends with Google becoming even more important. If you want a human being to review the numbers before making decisions, our digital marketing consulting service might be useful. Sometimes context still matters. Get in touch to discuss this with me or drop me a follow to get more of my updates in your feed. 500 million people later. It's funny how often the platforms people stop talking about keep growing. Threads has now reached 500 million users, despite spending much of its existence being described as either irrelevant or unfinished. 500 million users may not settle every argument about the platform, but it does make those arguments harder to have with a straight face. Before you rush to rewrite your social strategy, it's worth asking a more useful question. Are those users paying attention to brands like yours? Big user numbers are interesting. The quality of attention is usually more important. What catches my eye is how quietly Threads has grown. No grand reinvention of social media, no promise to change everything, just steady distribution through Meta's existing ecosystem and a very large audience already sitting nearby. Funny how often boring execution beats exciting predictions. If you're trying to work out whether Threads belongs in your mix, our social mark our social our social media marketing services can help you assess the opportunity. No need to chase every platform that crosses your feed. Get in touch to discuss this with me or drop me a follow to get more of my updates in your feed. People use AI search, they just don't trust it. Consumers continue adopting AI powered search tools while becoming less confident in the answers those tools provide. That's the central finding from this study, showing AI search adoption rising while trust declines. More people are using the tools. Fewer people seem willing to believe everything they read. Honestly, that feels like a perfectly rational response. People enjoy convenience, people also enjoy accuracy. AI search has been very good at delivering the first one. The second remains a work in progress. If you're responsible for marketing, don't focus solely on where traffic comes from. Pay attention to why people trust certain brands when answers become easier to generate than facts. The companies that survive this shift won't necessarily be the loudest. They'll be the ones people actively seek out when confidence matters. Our SEO services help businesses build visibility and authority across both traditional and AI driven search environments. If search behavior is changing in your industry, we'd be happy to talk. Get in touch to discuss this with me or drop me a follow to get more of my updates in your feed. And that's a wrap. Google enrolled advertisers into something this week without asking. Gave Maps a highlighter pen, landed an AI agent inside Ad Manager, and AI search kept growing while trust in it kept shrinking. Threads hit 500 million in the background, while everyone was busy debating whether it mattered. The thread running through all of this is fairly straightforward. Platforms keep expanding their role quietly, incrementally, and usually without much fanfare. Most of the changes this week won't show up in your reporting. Some of them already are inside your accounts, though. Spend less time watching the announcements, more time checking what has actually changed inside the platforms you use every day. My Digital Trends 2026 report is out now and it is free. If you are a senior marketer, founder, or in the C suite, this is the read that will put you at the forefront. Grab your copy, the link is in the description. If you want help cutting through the noise and turning change into progress, get in touch via the details in my profile. And in the meantime, don't forget to drop me a lovely follow to get more of my updates in your feed. Cheers.